Hi, everyone. Good morning. My name is Chenny from Cofinger Holdings. I am the product manager of TestRay app inside Jira. Welcome to today's micro webinar. Today, I would like to talk about leveraging Jira for test case automation. TestRay app inside Jira provides two options to support automation team. The first one is that we have automation integration so that you can integrate your TestRay app to your Jenkins and Bumble so that you can trigger your job. You can get the result inside Jira directly. So now let me go back to my Jenkins to have a quick look. So usually, if you want to do your test automation, you need ask your automation engineer to log in to your Jenkins and then find your job. And then click on this build in order to trigger your automation job so that your automation script can be started and executed. Once your automation is done, you need to go to this result file, or you need to build a separate page to get a good report for your automation. So now with our TestRay app, all these steps can be done just inside Jira or inside TestRay app. So this will provide a very convenient way for your testing team to trigger your automation, to get your automation result. So now let me switch to my Jira to see how it can be done with the help of TestRay. First of all, you need to go to your configuration page to configure your CI tool like Jenkins to make sure that your Jira can communicate with your automation tool. For example, here, go to integration page and then click on the add button to add your Jenkins information. For example, here I'm using Sandbox Jenkins, and then I give the URL and then give the credential to make sure the Jenkins server can be communicated by this Jira. So now let me add. You see, once your Jenkins server information is added here, means the trigger, your job can be done inside Jira. Okay. Now let me go back to my test cycle to see my test executions here. So in my test cycle, I have two TestRay test cases mapped to my automation script, which is located in this demo job X. Now I want to trigger this job directly from Jira. So here we have this automation integration panel. And then you can choose, you see here is the Sandbox Jenkins I just created. So inside this Jenkins, I want to trigger the job. The name is demo job X, and it is JUnit framework. So let me add it. You see a job has been added here inside TestRay. Now, if I click on the run button, it will go back to access the Jenkins server and trigger the job. If I go back to here and refresh, you see a new one, 177 has been triggered. If I go to console output, here you see inside this job, I have two scripts. One is failed, another one is passed. So this is just dummy automation script, so you can ignore this build failed information. We just want to show you how the process works. Now, if I go back to my test cycle, you see the initial status for these two executions are not tested, right? Now, if I refresh here, it means the job has been done. You see the result has been passed from Jenkins server to TestRay or to Jira. One is passed, another one is failed. And even more, the failed script information will be copied inside execution comments automatically. So this provides really a convenient way to do this, especially, let's see, if you have a stable Jenkins with your job there, the job is quite stable already. So every time, for example, for each of your test execution iteration, the smoke need to be tested first. So no need to ask your automation team to log in to your Jenkins anymore to check the job. What you need is to just put your Jenkins job information here and run from anyone in your QA team. And then once the job is done, the corresponding test script result will be passed to your Jira system automatically. In other words, everything is done just inside one system, TestRay and Jira. No need to jump out to switch to your CI tool. It's quite easy and convenient. This is the first option to support your automation team inside TestRay app. So we also provide a large list of REST API to help user to update result, to create test cases, to do whatever can be done by manual. We also have the corresponding REST APIs to support that. Means you can write some script, write some automation script to call REST API to do whatever you want inside Jira. Let me give you an example here. So let's say you have an automation team. You don't want to use this integration feature. You just want to call REST API during your automation script. So let's say the first executions has been done, and then you want to mark the result, right? Now let me just go back to my Postman client. You say, I want to mark this result as passed. So you can call REST API like this way inside your automation script. And then if you refresh your test cycle, you will see the 3 executions has been marked as passed by the REST API. So for some of the team, even for test case creation and test suite creation, they want to do it by automation script. For example, here, if I go back to my test suite page, so let me want to use automation script to create some test suite and some test cases, right? So let me just make a quick demo for that part. You see now here, I only have 3 test suite. I want to create one more by calling one of TestRay REST API. So here we have this REST API to create test suite from this project. Now let me click on the set button. You see it has been created. Now if you go back to this test suite page and refresh, you see a test cycle, a test suite with subsuite has been created here. Now you want to, call the REST API to create a test case inside the test suite. It's quite easy. You can just call a different REST API to create test case, and you can give this description information. You can create step information, and then click on the send button. You see the test case creation has been done. Now let me refresh again. You see now the test case number shows 1. If I click on that, open my subsuite, you see a test case has been created here. If you want to keep going, like, okay, from this particular test case, I want to create an execution, means ad hoc test execution. How can we do that? Go back to my Postman, try to call a different REST API, just give the test case key and then send. And then if I go back to here and refresh, you see a new execution record has been created here. Let's keep going to call another REST API to update the result and also link a defect. It's quite easy. Go back to this update REST API and send it. So from this REST API, I want to mark the result as failed. I want to give a comments for the execution, and also I want to link a defect to this execution. Now, if I go back to my test case again and refresh, and then scroll down a little bit, you see this execution has been marked as failed, and here is the time step when it has been done, and here a defect has been attached to this execution automatically. Yeah, I just showed you some typical REST APIs. We do have a large list of REST API. You can just go ahead to check our online documentation and pick up whatever you want. This is our automation integration feature and REST API features. Is pretty much for today's webinar. If you have any question and want to learn more about our TestRay app, feel free to reach out to us at sales@goldfingerholdings.com. Again, thanks for joining, and I hope you have a great rest of the day. Thank you. Bye-bye.